Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Make some motherfucking noise!
Like the big booty hoes, cute faces. Little nigga hit it on the first day basis. Niggas fake bitch kick game straight. X no down with the diamond name place on. Or in the path obsessed with diamonds glaring. Keep a nigga staring when you're wearing down a Karen. Or skipping shit to keep a nigga looking at you. In the bunker says you can show off your tattoo. Even if you're a max true player, she ain't
All right. Hey, can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? If you can, just say yes, we can hear you. You still can't hear me? You still can't hear me? Yes, now. Good. Oh, okay. Welcome to another edition of the Uncle Luke Show, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank you all for coming. This is a very special edition. I came on tonight. How you doing, Walter Campbell? Facebook Live. Hey, listen. I'm on all three of my platforms. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. No, not on Instagram because I don't quite know how to work the Instagram yet to get us on Instagram. But I'm on Facebook and I'm on Twitter X, from Twitter X, formerly X, Twitter formerly known as Twitter, but it's called X. X. I'm on X right now, Glue Grill One. We're on YouTube. Shouts out to all my good friends, like my girl Glow over there on YouTube, and all my other good friends like Walter and Keith over there on Facebook Live on my fan page. Hey man, I want y'all to do right now, like, share, subscribe to the page. You know, I figure I'd come on today because it's a very special occasion. It is a very, very special occasion for my good friend, Lane Kiffin, who has landed in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That's a beautiful thing that he's over there, and I'm just happy for him and his family. I'm gonna get into a little details as to my opinion in knowing him like I do know him, as to why I figure he went to. I figure why he went to daggone LSU. You know, based on a whole lot of conversations that we have had, numerous amount of conversations, and I just want to just share it all with you guys, and let you know how I feel and my take on it. So you know, just buckle up your seatbelts because this thing is going to be epic. I think we're probably the only one live doing this show right now. Call your friends, tell them all right now, tune in because it's going to be an epic conversation, a conversation that we had before. We're talking Uncle Luke Show podcast with my man. We're gonna be live. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just trying to get some technical difficulties here. See, when you come on when you don't supposed to come on, your shit don't be in order. So you just have to work itself out. It'll work itself out. But we're gonna work it all out. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, again, we got some things to talk about. I mean, the Dolphins won. That's a good thing. We're going to talk about also, we're going to have a conversation about University of Miami and the possibility of them not getting in, but how sad it is for them not to get in to ACC Championship, which is horrible. Everybody in the chat, let me know where you're from right now before we start the show. We normally ask people where they're from, and then we post where you're from in the actual chat over there. So let's go. Where you from? Where you from? Where you at? In the words of Uncle Al. That's how we do it, and that's how we're going to start it off, and that's how we're going to continue starting off. But remember, people, we're normally on here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I'm doing a special edition because I think it's warrant that we talk about this Lane Kiffin situation right here. As you can see, the back is under construction. We're trying to work on that as well, get all that in order. I like my little set. Most people be talking about, oh, you should go do it in the studio. You should go do it over here. You should go do it over there. Nah, we ain't doing that. Then we're going to have a conversation about my take on Shedeur Sanders day-to-day Cleveland Browns. So let's start off right now. My good friend Lane Kiffin made the decision that he wanted to go to LSU. Here's my take on the situation. Like I've said on numerous occasions, I said this. What's up, Miss West? From Miami. We got somebody from Palmetto, deep down south, South Point. I need to go to Joe's Stone Crab tonight, so I might be over there tonight. My girl Glow, thank you. Hey, but we got Wes. Thank you, Wes. I'm sorry. Hey, so here's my take on this whole Lane Kiffin thing. I've had conversations with Lane about certain things when it comes to coaching. On numerous occasions, he told me he wanted to coach at University of Miami. All the way up until 2 weeks ago, we had a conversation. University of Miami is where he wanted to go at. And I'm like, Lane, why you want to go to the University of Miami? So I can win multiple championships at the University of Miami. And I already knew that it was going to come down if Mario wins the game against Pittsburgh on Saturday, that there was no way in the world that Mario was going to get even be considered to be terminated. I don't think he would have been terminated this year, but then next year he'd have been faced a situation where he would be possibly terminated because of lack of performance. If he would have not won that game, it would obviously been another failed year that we don't get into college football playoff. Lane had to make the decision right now. Mario wins the game. We all know what was coming. Lane is going to LSU. He wasn't going to Florida because Florida has some crazy expectations, and they don't have as much talent as LSU have on the staff. Florida is a very difficult place to recruit. They have a different type of brand, different type of players. They have too many demands of the players that they want on a roster and players want on certain positions. LSU don't have it. LSU just want to win. LSU is on an island by themselves. LSU is in Louisiana, and the buck stops and start with LSU. All other schools are second. In the state of Louisiana, you do not have to deal with Florida, Florida State, Miami, and all the other programs surrounding it. It starts and stop at LSU and everybody else is second in the state of Louisiana. State of Louisiana is rich in talent. They get players from Louisiana. They absolutely play football. And then the beautiful part about LSU, they got a bunch of money. So with a bunch of money, they can get players from anywhere. LSU can recruit from Florida. LSU can recruit from Georgia, Alabama. When you go in there, when LSU comes to recruit you, you put them at the top of your list, along with Ohio State, Miami, and everybody else. I'm just keeping it above. So having these conversations, even having these conversations when Lane was at FAU. Lane, why are you going to Ole Miss? They got a lot of talent on the roster. That's why I'm going to Ole Miss. They got a lot of talent. I said, well, you got Auburn and you got some other schools that's looking at you. Why Ole Miss? They got a lot of talent on that roster. And so when he says that means he's carefully evaluated the roster. And so when you hear his conversations and his interviews, ladies and gentlemen, and him talk about, one, in this state of the business, you have to have talent surrounding your school, which he's going to get the pick of the litter of the state of Louisiana by being at LSU. He ain't got to fight against Florida, Florida State, and Miami, and all these different people. They got a big bank of money. They got a sold-out stadium with 100,000 people consistently on a consistent basis. Let me tell you something. Let me give y'all this here. And I talk to a lot of recruits because I'm a high school football head coach. When I talk to these recruits, not these recruiters, not recruits, these recruiters, the first thing they say, in Louisiana, is different. In Louisiana, it is different. When you come to recruit Louisiana, it starts and stops with LSU. They'll tell you at the fucking gas station, if you come walking around with a logo on, hey, look here, everybody go to LSU. I'm just telling you. You go to the Walmart, hey, look here, everybody go to LSU. I'm just telling you. The whole state of Louisiana is invested in the players that come out of Louisiana to go to LSU. So when you have a state invested like that, it ain't like Texas, where you got to fight against Texas A&M with a boatload of money. You got Oklahoma right across the border over there, Oklahoma State, TCU. You got all these schools. In Louisiana, what makes LSU so special? In Louisiana, what makes them so special? At LSU, it starts and stops with LSU in an area where they got top talent. Lane is a national name, swag and all that. Kids want to play for him. Kids want to play for him. Quarterbacks want to play for him. And here's the unique thing about Lane, what makes him different than any college coach in the business, other than maybe a couple of them. Kirby Smart, Dabo Swinney, new guy, up-and-coming guy. I love him to death, Willie Simmons. These guys know talent. That's the difference. That's the difference in this age of NIL. College football is no different than the NFL. They're paying the players one. Yeah, just take that to the side. But the evaluation of the player to know whether this guy is a football player, you got to know that. Other than that, you will be paying everybody that rival says is good. And unfortunately, I've been coaching for 20 years. I only see one rival scout, and that was this year. In my entire career of coaching high school football in Miami-Dade County, and I've coached at some of the most prominent schools. I've coached at Miami Central. I've coached at Miami Northwestern, Miami Northern, currently at Miami Edison. I've coached some first-round draft picks who never had a rival 5-star, 4-star ranking until they got an offer from Alabama. So, again, in this era of football, you need to know talent. You need to be a hell of a talent evaluator, no different than them guys in the NFL. And as we can see, at the top of the food chain in the NFL, they get it wrong. So you have differences of what you have a difference. Guys like Miami stockpile the roster with a bunch of 4-star people, and just because they got 4 stars, not necessarily, hey, you're a 4-star, come on. You're a 5-star, come on. We're going to pay you more money than everybody else. Fuck that. We're going to have you on the roster, and you'll just be here. Difference is Lane knows talent. Everywhere he's went, he's won. Went to FAU, won championships. Went to Ole Miss, looked at their roster and improved the roster year after year after year. Put them in a place where they have never been in the history of that program. Those people from Mississippi, the basketball state, they should be fucking happy. They should be applauding him. Thank you, Lane. Thank you, Lane, because you took us from being a doormat to relevant. You left our program better than what you found it. But unfortunately, we live in this different world. What's up, DDT? We live in this world where nobody gives a fuck. Everybody just wants everything. And let me just say this. If you have a head coach on your team, so everybody's like, oh, he left, and this is how he left. Let me address that. Lane didn't bring this circus on Lane. It was the NCAA when they changed the portal date. Lane didn't create this circus. The media created this circus because Lane is clickbait. Lane is always on Twitter saying some slick shit, and he gonna say some slick shit in the game. Lane gonna do some slick shit in the game. He gonna pull out his belt, give it to the player, and let them know, the gesture belt ass. We just did that. Lane gonna do that. That's what Lane is gonna do that. There's 2 guys in the NCAA right now in college football, maybe all of football, that just got that's jazzy than a motherfucker. That's Lane Kiffin and Shedeur Sanders, 2 most hated college football coaches in America. And that motherfucker over there in Indiana, he just don't get the pub, but he talks shit too. He just don't. He in Indiana, okay. Anybody trying to hear nothing? No motherfucker talking about in Indiana when it comes to football, unless you roll out Larry Bird nephew or some shit like that for basketball. So I'm just saying, man. He did not create this circus. The media created this circus, and they milked this motherfucker to the lowest term. They milked this shit out. All these pundits online, they milked this motherfucker to the fullest. Lane this, Lane that, Lane this. Do you remember they did the same thing with Lane when he went to Tennessee? They did the same thing to Lane when he went to USC. If you've just been born yesterday, you don't know this. But if you've been born a long time ago, you would know this. That's what they do when it comes to this guy. If Shedeur Sanders prime time was to go to Florida State right now and tell Colorado, well, I'm thinking about it, and Florida State job comes open. If they fire Mike Norvell right now, it will be the same circus. Hell, Golich was at South Florida. He just took the Auburn job. You think they just started talking to Golich about the Auburn job? You didn't think they were talking to his agent while he was coaching a football game, no different than Lane was coaching a football game? The season just ended yesterday, people. Everybody who got a new fucking job, those people, those other schools where they went to, they were talking to their coach. They were poaching their coach. They was having a conversation with the agent. And the coach was focusing on coaching the game. That's the nature of the beast. But at the end of the day, what ends up happening? Then it becomes Lane. Oh, it's all about Lane. When everybody else is happening with everybody else. But what happens when you're Penn State and you fire your coach? Y'all don't talk about that part. You don't have a conversation when you do some dumb shit like fire your coach. Why do you fire your coach in this time? Why does Lane have a conversation with other programs in these times right now? It's because of the fucking NCAA. The NCAA created this atmosphere, people, when they moved the portal to January. So here's for the people in the back room who don't understand, the fans who just don't understand it. They moved, it was two portals. They moved the portal to January. Think of the portal as free agency. Your opportunity, your one opportunity to start going and getting players in free agency. If you hire a coach after, like they used to, if you hire a coach after, or if a coach plays and coach in the bowl game and all this shit here, you will lose out on the top players available because you will be focused on coaching that game. You're going to be focused on coaching the game, but your coach will not be in place so that he can start the process of, coaching the game, but at the same time, looking at those players who are available and recruiting them. So you'd have to do two things. Lane wanted to do that at Ole Miss. He was denied the opportunity to coach because let me tell you like this. You coach, you got staff, you got about 150 people, you got analysts, all this, breaking down film. You go into a rhythm of what you do. You come over the game plan. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to scheme against these people. And this is what we're going to do. Lane doesn't have to play in the SEC Championship, so he has to wait to play in the playoffs. So to get his staff ready at LSU now and still prepare to win the national championship, it'd be easy. Because he'll be putting the staff in place at LSU. They will be doing the work. The recruiting department will be at LSU doing the work, and him and the coaches would have been at Ole Miss doing the coaching. And he will still be evaluating the talent for new job, and the guys who will be there will be evaluating talent for their current job. And they could be around like everybody else, like no different than Mario Cristobal when they fired that staff and the other staff was there, Lashley and all them, and they was running the team, and the new coaching staff gets to evaluate it. And Ole Miss case, they hired the defensive coordinator, so he's right there. He has to bring on a new staff. But going back to why we are here, the NCAA did this. Kids got to get in the portal. Kids are going to get in the portal in January. Everybody who redshirted, everybody who's going to get in the portal, everybody who decide they want to leave, and people who you're going to call their high school coach and say, hey, man, I like JoJo over here, or Momo over here, or Frank over here, and all this right here, and I need them to come to my team. That's what he has to do in January, because it's like anything. It's like going to a concert. If you wait until after January, if you don't get this man a job before then, what ends up happening? If Auburn don't give Golish the job now, Golish right now is looking for players. He's looking at his current roster. He's looking at the roster that he has at Auburn. He's looking at what available players are around the country. And then he has to add people on the staff. Did anybody talk about Golish? This is how this shit works. So it's not a Lane thing that, he wants to leave. No, we're not living in the same times that we lived in before. We're living in times right now that the NCAA created that you got to go out there and get the best. Are you going to wait? It's just like this. Uncle Luke coming to do concert in your city. If you wait late to get the ticket, when the show is announced, you're going to get your tickets right now because you're going to have the best opportunity to get the best tickets. if you wait late, you might be sitting up in the fucking rafters, or you might don't get in the game at all. That's why LSU fired their coach early. LSU went on this trail of looking for the new coach. That's why LSU, Penn State, Virginia Tech, UCLA, all these people fired their coaches early. This don't normally happen. Are y'all criticizing those people? You're not. That's because of the new portal window. They would have had, okay, let's see how you do all the way to the end of the season. Ain't no more motherfucking end of the season, boss. It's let's see how you do up until November. You get in November and your ass ain't doing good in November, you get fired. If you're not doing good up until November, you're going to get fired. This school is saying, hey, look, we got to move in a different direction because we got to fire you now. We got a couple of weeks to look to see what's available. We got to go hire a new coach. And when we hire this new coach, he has to be in place by December 1, because in January, he has to do what? He has to go and prepare himself to go after these kids and recruit these kids for a whole month going up into the portal. When the portal hits, he has to know exactly who the fuck he wants. Other than that, you're behind the 8 ball. You'll lose 2 years on your shit. Plus, you got to go in and save the recruiting class and bring whatever new recruiting class of high school players that you need to bring in right now. Because, hello, you know what happens in December? You know what happens next week? Next week is signing day for high school players. Next week is signing day for high school players. So now you wait till after the bowl game, you don't have a high school recruiting class. If you're the institution and you wait till after the bowl game to fire your coach, you don't have you're set back you're really set back 2 years. You are set back 2 years. So what happens to you? So when Billy took the job, he killed this whole the recruiting class, the damn money left over there, and what ended up happening? He didn't have a first-year recruiting class because he eliminated the class. He didn't save the class. He said, fuck all y'all. I'm going to take these guys that I was recruiting for La Tech, and that's what he got, La Tech results at an SEC school. So what happened? So this man didn't create this climate. And for all my good Hurricane fans, don't do that. Don't get out. Not one Hurricane fan should say a goddamn thing about Lane Kiffin. You know why? No top of the line program, because all y'all did the same thing. My beloved Hurricanes, you should say e motherfucking thing, because last time I checked, we stole Mario Cristobal from Oregon. Mario didn't get fired at Oregon. I mean, we're so fucked up over there. We had Manny Diaz on the staff while we were trying to bring Mario in. We had the coach, and that's how the world works. That's how God works. Ironic this shit is. You had Manny Diaz, still the coach, while you were fucking recruiting Mario, trying to hire him to be the coach. At the same time, I told him to hire Lane, but they didn't do that. So look how that ended. So Miami fans, don't say a motherfucking thing. We need to stay out of this one. We had a whole fucking coach on the staff coaching his ass off with a contract, who, by the way, is playing in the ACC Championship. Oh, my God. See how that shit work? See how it work? Football gods is real. I really believe in them. See how that works? Look how ironic that is. We are the team who technically supposed to be in, and Duke should not be in the ACC Championship with their fucking record. But God works a certain type of way. Look how fucking wild this is. football guards work. We had this motherfucker on the staff, and we were negotiating with Mario while Manny was the head coach. And then when we signed Mario, that is when we fired Manny. And look at this shit. Who's in the ACC Championship? Manny. Now, I'm no Manny fan. I'm Lane. So, people, we ain't got to, we leave that shit alone. Because we did that shit. We did some hardcore shit. And it ain't just us. It's everybody else. When you're a big bank, you take little bank. It's like going up in the party. Don't go to Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, Elon Musk. Don't go to their party with your pretty ass wife. She gonna look around and go to the house and look around. If you ain't got that kind of house, don't take your wife there. Don't go. You need to stay in your motherfucking lane. Speaking of lane, stay in your lane. Oh, miss, you have to stay in your lane. This man did something that has never been done in the history of your fucking school and your program, in the history of the state of Mississippi. You should be satisfied. Thank you, Lane. You came here. You took us to the heights of all heights, and we really appreciate it. We love you. You left this place better than you found it. We know the way. Okay, Lane. We know the way. Thank you. Thank you. We love you. Big parade for Lane. Every time you come play here, we're going to be clapping. We love you. We love Lane. They ain't going to do that. Anybody understands that? But that's what I'm saying, people. The climate of football right now is going to happen. Listen, if you have to be delirious if you think you're going to get a coach, like I hear all my Hurricane fans, oh, yeah, we're trending up. We're moving up. We're looking good. 10 wins. Okay, 10 wins right now is equivalent to 7-5. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the brunt of bad news. 10-2 is equivalent to 7-5. 10-2 ain't shit. When you got 100 and some motherfuckers on your roster, NFL team has 53 people on their roster and probably 10 on the taxi squad. When you have the right to go hire whatever the fuck you want to hire, bring in whatever you want to bring in, unlimited resources, no salary cap, none of that. It comes down to knowing talent. That's different with Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin went in the SEC, won 11 games in the SEC with 2 returning starters. That tells you right then that all that we finna build a program bullshit, all that shit out the door right now. This shit is all about free agency, boss. It ain't no such thing as building no fucking program and taking 6 years. That is out of the door. Did Manny Diaz do it? He in the ACC Championship. Did Virginia take 6 years? Indiana? Ohio State has their base. Stockpile. Ohio State right at the top of NIL, spending money. Georgia? Oklahoma? Texas? Texas been had money. They just didn't have a talent evaluator like they have in Sarkisian. These will always be somewhere by the money. You got guys who have a bunch of money, they're going to stockpile a roster, they're going to win 10, they're going to go 10-2, find a way to fuck some games up, cry about not being in the playoffs. Then you're going to have some guys who are real talent evaluators, and you're going to see their players develop like you saw Arch Manning this year. Arch Manning looked like ass. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Sark? But I know Sark personally. And if I know Sark like I know Sark, that motherfucker's going to get right. It's just that simple. He's going to get right. So that's where you're at, people. That is right where you're at in this climate of college football. Lane Kiffin is gone. My good friend, out the door to LSU. He'd have been at Miami. People don't want to hear the truth. I'm sorry, if you don't want to hear the truth, that's on you. Good question. Ask me whatever question you want to ask me. I got you. Why did Miami not get Lane, Luke? That is a great question, bro. It's a great question. I had 2 opportunities to get Lane. When the last athletic director was there, I told him myself personally, Lane wants to come in. But when the job was open, Mark Rick left. He hired Manny Diaz. They went and bought Manny Diaz out of his contract when he left and went to Tulane. Should have left that man over there at Tulane. Hired him. There was a second opportunity. Mark Rick, when Manny Diaz, when they know they wanted to fire Manny Diaz after he had that 7-5. What ended up happening? They said, no, we're going to keep Manny until we get Mario. We ain't trying to fuck with Lane. 2 different occasions. They did not fuck with him. It's just that simple. They don't listen. A lot of people think them people down there listen to me. Them people. No. I don't think it's a black person in the room that they listen to. They play games with Jonathan Vilma. Oh, you the spokesperson for the players. And they parade him up in there. And he go up in there cheesing and shit with them. And they don't listen to him neither. Because I know all the players. They want different. They want somebody different. So that's a great question. They just ain't want him. I know a couple of billionaires who talk to the head board of the head person of the board. Told that person, hey, look, if you got some billionaires that want to jump out the window, then fine, we'll come in and replace them. And matter of fact, we'll get twice the amount of money. Because we support Lane Kiffin. So it ain't no money issues. It became a personal thing. Where every swinging dick and click on that goddamn board who did not like Lane because of whatever they wanted to disliked about him, they made that decision. They fucked up. Why did he want to come here? Luke, 360. Why did Lane want to come here? Why would he want to come to Miami? In my conversations with him, he said all the time, I can win multiple championships. I said, but they ain't going to have that same kind of money that the people got over there to pay you. He said, look, it ain't about the money with me. I got money. I know in Miami, with this rich talent from South Florida, and you're able to recruit anywhere in the country at the University of Miami, which is rich history, and the former players that surrounded the program that's willing to come and give back to the program, I know I can win multiple championships. That man wants to be the best coach in the history of college football. That's what his eye on. So Miami job, not available. Next best job right now, can't wait no longer, LSU. Florida, no, it's not that. Florida ain't it. I'm sorry. Florida ain't it. Then why isn't he winning now? Sweetheart. Lane? Okay, I'm looking down at the chat. You asked, I'm sorry. You asked Mario? Mario's 1 in 10 games. 10 games. Mario has 10 wins. He made a mistake of not winning the 2 games. He had 2 chances to win 1 game out of 2 games, and he failed. He lost against SMU, and he lost against Louisville. Both of those teams were winnable games. Fucking Louisville went up there and lost against a team that Miami blew out, which is Cal. SMU, you know you needed to win that game. He didn't have his team prepared already. Why did he lose? Because he wants to control the offense. And until the committee, the head of the committee came in a press conference and say, look, we like Miami, but the offense looked like ass. There's nothing creative about it. It's boring. And then that is when he allowed the offense coordinator to open up the offense. And that offense, what you see right now, was because the head of the committee told him he needed the offense to open up. Now, mind you, again, Wah has been here saying you need to open up the fucking offense from day one. And I never liked this offensive coordinator. But obviously, we see that it was all about this guy. I think they mismanaged the talent on the roster. I think it's going to be a mass evacuation when the season is over of guys getting in the portal, big-time players. We're good with Mario. If you're happy with being mediocre, that's fine. You're going to win 10 games and fuck up 2 other games and possibly not get in the playoff, and that's it. If you're fine with that, that's good for you. You say no lane? No lane what? Winning? Sweetheart, go. They got too many platforms before you start asking questions on it. Go to those platforms, sweetheart. I don't want to disrespect you, but they got ChatGPT. They got all kind of stuff. They got Google. Go Google the person I'm talking about before you get in the comments, because you're not making any sense. We're talking about a man that's winning, that's going to the college playoff, that only lost 1 game. That's who we're talking about. He's going to LSU, the hottest coach in America. And you're talking about why he's not winning. I don't even know why I entertain that. But people, that's where we at. So let's move right along with Shedeur Sanders. I didn't like the game plan. But I do understand the game plan. I do understand the game plan. I don't like the game plan, but I do understand it. When you got a swirling wind, one ball he threw up in there. Now this dude got strong ass arm. That ball started doing all kind of things up in the air. So those were very difficult situations that he played in. But the special teams didn't help him. His friends didn't help him. Guys dropping punts, guys dropping shit, fumbling the ball and giving these people a short field position. They had a great game plan going in. Well, let me take it back. I think they had a good game plan based on the conditions. The conditions created the game plan. Some people sitting online talking about he should have aired it out and all that. You can't air it out when the fucking wind. You got to wait 10 seconds and wait 1 minute to air it out. So again, it's a great thing. This guy's still young. Shedeur is young. Those were fucked up conditions. It's no excuse. In those conditions, you got to create a game plan to play in that type of situation. The game plan ain't about making these costly errors on the goal line. One dude just took the fucking kickoff and walked out of bounds. That's a bad team. Cleveland Browns showed you on national TV how fucking horrible they are. Those are the type of things that make you a bad team when you make those dumbass mistakes, like fumbling the ball on the 5-yard line, a fucking punt. Like taking the kickoff and going out of bounds on the 1. When you could have let the ball just go out of fucking bounds and the ball would have been put on the 35. That's bad shit. Bad people. Bad situation. Speaking of bad situation, I want to give a shout out to, good situation. I want to give a shout out to Golich, going to Auburn, South Florida head coach. Congratulations. Real good dude. Hopefully he does well over there. Hopefully South Florida do the right thing. Hire Willie Simmons. Hell of a coach. That'd be a great move for them. Put him over there. Great lot of ties in Florida. University of Florida hired another coach from Louisiana. Fucking guy from Tulane. Ain't got probably only one person from the state of Florida on their roster. I don't understand that. I really don't understand why people recruit. Why schools hire people with no ties and not nationally brand names. See, like a Lane Kiffin is a nationally branded name. He can go recruit anywhere, Louisiana, anywhere around the world. It's a national brand name. Nick Saban going to Florida can recruit anywhere in the world. But when you go get a fucking G5 coach, like they did in Billy from La Tech, and bring him to the state of Florida where in La Tech he ain't got that one person on his roster from Florida. When you do some numbnut shit like Florida State, go get a guy from Memphis, G5 school, bring him to Florida State, who has not one recruit from the state of Florida on his roster. Now Florida go get this guy from Tulane, not one guy on the roster from Florida. What the fuck you think the results getting ready to be? You got to know the state of Florida. If you're going to go fuck with a G5 dude. Now, if you're going to go get this big time name, everybody know him. He can recruit anywhere. But 9 times out of 10, those big time name guys have recruited in the state of Florida. The coach at Virginia Tech now, he had Juwan Sider on his fucking staff. Juwan Sider recruited at Penn State in the state of Florida. Juwan Sider is now with Notre Dame. Freeman got smart. I had a conversation with Freeman. I'm like, Freeman, why you got Sider? Freeman said, no, I've been trying to get Sider for years. I'm going to keep it a buck. I've been trying to get him for years because I know I need to get talent from South Florida. In order for I need this type of talent, and I have to go get the best recruiter. It's 2 guys that's top of the line recruiters that don't have to do payola. Juwan Sider. I'm gonna tell you, hopefully Lane keep him. Corey Raymond, know his shit over at LSU. Hopefully Lane keep him. You have Chris Perkins, who's at FAU. Those guys know Florida and Georgia. Recruit like a motherfucker. Somebody gonna get smart and hire Chris Perkins so fast. One of these people now, how did he get in college football? He got in college football. Who hired Chris Perkins? Lane Kiffin. When he was at FAU. Chris Perkins didn't want to go because, mom and, everything, he wanted to stay here in Florida, be close by the old girl. But then now he's ready to move on. He's ready to, everybody in good health and good spirits right now so he can move on. But he loves it over there where he's at right now. Somebody can fuck around and hire that dude. You ain't going to have to be paying money. Eye for talent. Good coaching. Eye for talent, good coaching. Louisiana Lafayette. Billy. Hopefully he goes back there. But ladies and gentlemen, I had to do this special edition because my homeboy got a job and I'm happy for him. I should be back tomorrow. The Uncle Luke Show with another on my regular schedule. We normally do these podcasts Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We talk about sports, politics, and entertainment. Next week, I'm going to have a very special guest. on the show. I'm not going to tell y'all. You just stay tuned for it. Shouts out to all the teams around the country that are going to the state finals, getting ready to one game before state. Shouts out to all of them. Beautiful thing when you get your team prepared and play a whole year and get them ready to go and compete to get into that state championship. Shouts out to all of them. Shouts out to my girl Glow. Right now, if you got a question in the chat before I get off of here, please feel free to ask me a question, and I'll answer it real quick. But make it quick because I'm getting off of here, and I'm going to try to get into Joe's Stone Crab, which I can. Ms. West, thank you. I really appreciate it. Next week, I'm going to probably tell you guys whether or not I'm going to run for either Congress or governor of the state of Florida. Which one y'all think I should run for? It's just running me crazy. Congress, I could do so much. Thank you, Chuck. Congress, I could do so much for my district and be a shining light for other congressmen and women to look at my district and how great it is. I think, but then again, if I run for governor of the state of Florida, do you know how much money I could bring to the state of Florida? Because everybody, I always look at the state of Florida, kids should be born rich here. This should be like fucking Dubai. Kids should be born with $1 million. Dubai, you automatically you're a millionaire when you're born in Dubai. When you're born in the state of Florida, you should automatically be a six-figure baby. There's no way in the world you should not be a six-figure baby in the state of Florida. If I was governor, that would be my focus. My goal is to every child born here in the state of Florida, he would be born into six figures. There's no reason why. You got sunshine, you got beaches, you got so much to work with. But the sad problem is we don't have Fortune 500 companies here. We don't have Fortune 500 companies here. We ain't the headquarters. We ain't like Georgia. We don't have a tax credit like New Jersey created a tax credit. Movie studios are building $1 billion studios in Jersey right now. So the people in New Jersey who's going to be working at these studios and working around the state of Jersey, shooting films and doing music and all that, take advantage of these tax credits, and the people of New Jersey who live in New Jersey will be the people who are benefiting. You got so many things, so much to work with to make so much money other than just sitting there governing people and putting people against people. We have major agriculture. We ain't making half the money that we should be making out of our farmland. We should go ahead and approve motherfucking marijuana. Stimulate our economy through the farmlands. How much money those people in the farmlands to make you legalize marijuana? Not all the farmers are making money. Farmers right now are getting killed. In Belglades and Pahokee, where it was a big, rich sugarcane area, they automated that shit. They got the machines picking the sugar canes right now. It used to be the people. It used to be people coming into the Belglades, Pahokee area, and they would come into the town at a certain time of year, harvest the fruit and the sugar cane and shit. The economy is stimulated. People staying in the houses, people going to the clubs, people spending money in the town. They don't have that no more because the machines took over the shit. Economy is horrible. Education in the state of Florida should be free. It's free in every other country. Education free in every other country. Make this make sense. Why in the fuck are we paying for education? It should be a way. All these boards, the governor of each state controls the board of trustees at each college. So if you're at the University of Florida, Florida A&M, FIU, FAU, FAMU, Florida State, UCF, USF, you hiring all these coaches, the governor puts the board together and the board hires the president. So who the fuck you think tells the board to hire as the president of these universities? The governor. So if your school is ass and hiring the wrong person, if you're at Florida State and you're like, why in the hell we don't fire the coach? It's because the coach is probably friends with the governor. Education? Why in the fuck we get ready to close all these schools in the state of Florida? Because the charter schools have taken over. You got public schools get ready to close with 30% occupancy. Who fucked that up? There's no challenge against the charter schools. The public schools are just pulling down their pants because nobody has no vision. The congressmen and women have the resources to put into those schools in their district, but they don't do it because they sitting up there too busy going and walking around with their suit on, their Congress pen, and getting on CNN and talking shit about Trump. Fuck Trump. Bring some resources back to the community. Governor, if you're governor, same thing. I'm talking federal, and I'm talking about state. Why we got all these fucking tolls in the state of Florida? Where's the money going? We're paying for the roads with our taxpaying money. So make this make sense. We're paying for the roads, we're paying for the tolls, to be building the tolls, and we got to pay a toll to ride down the fucking highway that we paid for. Where the fucking money going? That's right. They have no vision. Why are we paying all this money in fucking tolls? And where's the money going? To build new roads. No, because the federal government has funding in infrastructure. You get your money from the federal government to build roads. So where the fucking money going in? You getting all this money off the lottery. You getting taxed. One thing I agree with Ron DeSantis, you should not be paying no fucking property taxes. Because where the money going? Why the fuck am I paying for all these tolls? You get this big ass bill. In these crazy ass cities like Miami Gardens with these goddamn red lights and shit, that would be outlawed. Oh no. So you're taxing the people, you're strangling the people, and then rent? There's no fucking rent control. There's nobody worrying about the little people. So you can price gouge in all the workforce people. In 10 years, I probably won't be able to afford to stay in Miami. It's getting too high. The average income in Miami-Dade County is $27,000. The average cost to live here is about $100,000. You got more motherfucking people sleeping in the streets than a little bit. And then they pump fake with the developers and say, oh yeah, we're going to build affordable housing. Affordable housing to who? They're taking governmental HUD housing, has to be approved and authorized by the federal government, because the federal government, last time I checked, controls the governmental properties. They're not developing. Oh, we're going to give it to this developer. He's going to develop some shit, and we're going to let 10 people from from a governmental housing projects that normally have about 10,000. We're going to let 10 people in here, and we're just going to let them have the housing for free. And then come on, man. You have a shortage of workforce houses here in the state of Florida, South Florida, everywhere else. You got beautiful fucking Jacksonville. Jacksonville ain't reached 10% of its peak of being a fucking destination out of this world. But you got to go and work that. You got to go work Jacksonville. You got to go work South Florida. You got to work Miami. You got Orlando, they said. It's Mickey Mouse. But why every other city in the state of Florida shouldn't be like Orlando in its own unique way, bringing its own opportunities? Disney and Universal is so successful because of that motherfucking sunshine year round. So why can't South Florida have beautiful sunshine? Why? I mean, they got this big fight in Miami about taking it, and in every area. They robbing the people for this seaquarium. They throwing Moby Dick and everybody out of that motherfucker. For the developers to do what? To go and build. They had another big fight about an area here in Miami, the Black Beach, the only black beach, the first black beach in Miami, Virginia Key Beach. Big fight. We're going to take that motherfucker. They're trying to give it to the developers. It's right on the ocean. We're going to give it to the fucking developers to do what? Develop our ass out of there, take the Black Beach and develop that motherfucker. So people went all up in arms. When they go up in arms, they just say, oh, we're going to table that for another 4 or 5 years. And when people are not thinking, we're going to be sticking some forks in the ground, but people have to keep their eye on the shit. You can develop for the common folk. You can create opportunities for the common folk. Oh, crime. How about, you know what happens with crime? Why does crime in certain communities? Because of poverty. Poverty, crime. Poverty, crime. Bad education, crime. People needing to eat. Bad health care system. And a lack of mental health. Do you know how serious mental health is in the Black community, poor white community, kids in general? Do you know how serious mental health is? I coach football. Part of me why I can't walk away from it is because of the mental health part of it. Just imagine, if you close your eyes and imagine a kid who goes home to no meal, 4 or 5 brothers in the house, young mother sitting there smoking a joint, different dudes coming in and out of the house. This kid is a 3.5 GPA. He's just doing it because he's smart. She had a smart kid. He has siblings that he got to take care of. Mom letting them play sports, but making them work a night job. Got the fucking garage door open. Just imagine that. Kid ends up, they got to eat bologna sandwiches. He has to go and work and bring the money home. Mother makes him work. He goes to a charter school that allows him to go and do all this, because most of these charter schools, they just getting the money off these kids. They ain't necessarily up in the motherfucking school. They give them a computer and say, Phil, do this shit online. And matter of fact, we're going to give you the answers to all the tests. I'm sorry I'm offending some people. I'm sorry that I'm blowing the whistle on something. But that's what the fuck it is. So they go, because charter school can't fail you. They need to get that money off of you from the state. And ain't no motherfucker, charter school, you ain't paying to go there. The state is paying. That's the situation that we put our kids in predicament by having this fucked up system of public schools and not putting the resources in public schools to keep our kids in public schools because it's a Republican thing to put these kids in charter schools. So then now this mental health kick in with this kid. And he has the burden of all that on him in 2025. Now you add on there this motherfucking phone. And he's looking on Twitter. And he's looking on Instagram, Snapchat. How great all these people doing with all these bags and sneakers and all that. And how these kids got all this shit and the prom comes around and everybody got all this money to spend on the prom and all this and he ain't got that. Do you know how mentally challenging that is for a kid? To know that he don't have it? He ain't got no inkling way of getting that. And he has to go home and go to work at night in a fucking warehouse like a slave, and then go try to play some football to try to find a way out. Do you know how fucking serious that is? But these people who want to hold these seats in Congress and these people who want to hold these seats as the governor, they don't look at that. They just look at these kids as being all bad kids. They crime, they criminals, they're dangerous people, they're bad people. These kids ain't necessarily bad people. They're put in the predicament of survival. What the fuck are you going to do? What are you going to do to survive? You're going to find a way. And I'll leave y'all with that, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have a nice day. I'll be back tomorrow evening to get on my regular schedule. Thank you for joining me tonight. I think I might do Sundays because I like Sundays. Sunday crowd is y'all all right. I like y'all. Y'all show up and show out. But I am on here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, ladies and gentlemen, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. is the broadcast. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 p.m. We rebroadcast throughout the day and the next day. So you'll never not have an opportunity where you can't catch it. Make sure if you do miss me live, then go to YouTube, UncleLukeTV on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. Also go to my X page. Follow me over there. That's Uncle Luke Real One on X, Uncle Luke Real One on Instagram. My fan page where some of my good friends are on there from Facebook. That's Uncle Luke Facebook. I had a great time today. Hopefully you all had a great time. It was beautiful. So thank you. Have a good day. And hey, look, have a good week, man. Reach one, teach one, love one. Bring somebody up. These holidays are getting ready to come around. There's going to be a bunch of people stressing out. Don't stress out over nothing, man. Don't stress out over nothing. Just, hey, man, let it all play out. And just enjoy your week. Enjoy the rest of these holidays. You got Christmas coming up. You got New Year's coming up. You got a whole brand new fucking year. Get your shit in order. Figure out what you're going to do, what you didn't accomplish this year. Start doing that right now. Figure out what you didn't accomplish and what you wanted to accomplish this year that you didn't. And then write that shit down and say, these are the things that I want to accomplish next year. Write that shit down. You got 4 quarters of the game. It's 4 quarters in the year. It's the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and the fourth quarter. Right now, we're in the fourth quarter of this year. And I need you to finish strong, goddammit. I need y'all to finish strong. Finish strong. say I ain't coaching. I'm coaching y'all up. Finish strong and get yourself prepared for the next year, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have a good time. And I always say this, in the words of Walter Cronkite, my good friend back in the days, may the good news be yours. See ya. I wouldn't want to.
Pull out the stick, come shoot that. Booty poke out like a book bag. Booty poke out like a book bag. Pull over ass too fast. Carisha gonna bring that Uncle Luke back.